No, this is not a scam. Yes, you can retire in 10 to 15 years, even if you're broke at 20. It might sound super simple, and here are the main concepts. Savings rate, savings rate, savings rate. No, but for real though, it comes down to 3 things. Number 1, savings rate. Number 2, how much you earn. And number 3, how big your retirement fund needs to be. And welcome to the FIRE movement. So what is FIRE? FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. So basically, it's like a group of people trying to save aggressively now so that you can buy back your time later. So here is a great FIRE content creator that I love to learn from called Choose FI. I will put it up here somewhere, their logo. And through Choose FI, I was able to create a 50% savings rate, and also I was able to find out how much I need to retire by listening to their content. So here are 2 episodes that I would recommend people starting off with. Number 1 being the Why of FI. And this one is one of my favorite episodes because when you start off with the why on a journey, you can use that to lead yourself, especially when things get hard. You kind of remember back to, oh, why am I doing this in the first place? And the second episode that I love to introduce people to is the Pillar of FI. And with this episode, it talks about all the ways people can achieve FI, or financial independence. So for example, in that episode, they talk about things including moving to a lower cost of living area, buying a low mileage used car, like a Toyota Corolla. Oh my God, clean, I love them. And also getting a cheaper cell phone plan. Right now, I am using a plan from Freedom Mobile, and it is $28 a month, and I get around 3 gigabytes of data. It might seem kind of little, but I don't stream video, and I just listen to already downloaded content from Libby or Audible and other podcast episodes, so I'm actually doing quite okay. But how do we actually do it though? I'll use myself as an example. Right now, I am 24, and yeah, I am well on my way towards FI and retiring early, but if I could optimize everything from the very start, this is how I would redo things. So let's say I am 18 and I will be graduating from high school. Which career would I be choosing this time around? Well, shockingly, I will actually choose a blue-collar job like plumbing or an electrician. And you might say, why not a lawyer or a doctor? They earn a lot of money. Well, that's because the income to debt, student debt ratio is way too high for a doctor or a lawyer. So let's take an example from a family doctor. If I were to be a family doctor, and after I get out of all these years of schooling, I earn around $190,000 after tax as a family doctor, but I need to pay back $200,000 worth of student debt, which means all of my hard-earned dollars are gonna go to another person's pocket for a very long time before I can put that money into mine. You know what I mean? Reversing it, let's say I'm going to plumbing school and I come out in about 4 years and my debt is around $20,000. Now I am 22 years old, earning a salary of about $58,000 a year, which is after tax is about $45,000. And here's what I would do from here. First, I will keep my living expenses around $25,000 a year. And this is because I can save around $20,000 a year. And I'll do that by living at home to reduce rental costs and eat home-cooked meals to save on groceries, and also use a car share program like Moto instead of owning a car to reduce expenses. And all 3 points that I have just mentioned, the reducing housing costs, reducing cooking or grocery costs, and reducing motor transportation costs, are 3 biggest living expense eaters, let's say. And these are all things that I actually am doing currently right now to keep my living expense low as well. So with my lifestyle being in check, that means I will, in about a year, I have paid off my student loans, and now I can focus on building up my retirement portfolio. The fun part, yay! Hell yeah! So how much do I need to save then? I will use the 25x rule to find out my retirement fund needed. So this means I will times my yearly expenses by 25 years to find out approximately how much I need to retire. So $25,000 times 25 years, which would give me around $625,000. So let's make this number a little bit easier to work with and make it $650,000. I don't know, maybe I want a little bit more comfort and be like a little bit more cautious as to like, oh, what if this happens or what if that happens, you know? Okay, great. Yay! Now I know how much I need to save in order to retire on a budget of $25,000 a year. Where do I put my $20,000 every year worth of saving? Well, if I were to do this, I would invest in the total market index fund. But generally speaking, Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab has really good total market index funds because they charge very, very low management fees. Usually you want to aim for around 0.25% or lower if you can. So in this case, let's say I buy the VTI, or also called the Vanguard Total Market Index Fund. And it's very fascinating because despite its ups and downs, the fund has been on an upward trend ever since it has been made. Yay! Okay, great. Now that I know how much I'm going to invest a year and where I'm going to invest that money, will I be able to reach my target number of 650,000 when I'm 37 years old? Well, let's find out. Great. So now that we are at our investment calculator, we have to crunch numbers in. On the starting amount, we have 0 because we're saying that we're going to be broke at 20 years old, and we want to get to 5 when we're 37, and we want to get to 5 when we're 37 years old. So here we are going to enter 15 years. And as for the return rate, the historical market return is around 8% annually. So we're going to put in 8% here. And since it's the historical annual rate in which the money will be compounded, we're going to leave it as annual. And as for the additional contribution, since we're going to be investing $20,000 a year, which comes down to about $1,666 a month. Okay, great. So we are, let's say, contributing that at the end of every month. Oh, let's see if we will be able to reach our FI number when we are 37. Okay, very, very interesting. And the result says no. Great. Now that we have this piece of information, so if we're going to continue at this rate, it will take me about actually 17 years to reach my investment portfolio number. So if we were to type in 17 now, we will see that yes, at 39 years old, I'll be able to reach my number, because if we type in 16, it will come out to this, not quite enough. Right. Now I have some options. Option 1 is to accept the fact that, you know what, if I earn $45,000 a year and save 20,000 of that, I will be able to retire at the age of 39. Or if I want to retire earlier because we want to retire at 37, I need to do something different. Now here's what I can do. I could increase my income and also increase my savings rate. But let's say I get a higher paying plumbing job of $67,000 after tax, and I keep my living expenses the same, which means I'll be living on $25,000 a year. This leaves me with $42,000 that I could put into my savings every single year. And now let's try the calculations again and see if I can retire by the age of 37.
Well, Ash, you won't be able to earn on the higher scale anyways when you're just starting out, so this example won't work.
I know, that's very true. Good catch, good catch. I know I won't be able to make the $67,000 after tax in the first few years of me working. So let's say for that first 7 years, I earn the after tax income of the $45,000 that we have discussed before. And then in the next 8 years, I'll be earning the $67,000. So in this case, would I be able to achieve my FI number in 15 years? Let's find out. Okay. Now coming back to our investment calculator, we will be putting in a different starting amount. So the starting amount will now be that we have accumulated over the first 7 years. And the return rates will stay the same. And since we will be accumulating for 15 more years, and for after how many years, since we will be doing 15 years up to 37 years old, we are going to put in 8 years into here. And the compound rate is going to stay the same, and the return rate will also stay the same. The additional contribution will be different because we want to put in more money, and monthly we will be putting in $3,500. And let's see how our calculation does. Oh, yes. I will be able to retire with the amount I need and then some. Well, let's see if I do 7 years here, if I will still have the amount of money that I need. Not quite.
And now, I want to acknowledge that with many different financial calculations, many variables in personal situations will come into play. So I totally understand if this situation or the example I'm giving doesn't work for everyone. Like, for example, someone might have a higher living expense, maybe around $52,000 a year, which is the average individual spending amount if you're living in an expensive city. For example, Vancouver, Canada.
As for why this example will work for me, it's because I try super hard to keep my expenses on the lower end. And I've done a lot of work around the 3 big money drainers. 1, housing, by living at home. Number 2, car and transportation, by using the car share motto instead of having my own car.
And number 3, groceries, which I reduce it by eating at home mostly. And also, I do want to preface by saying that retiring in 15 years is extremely difficult. It is not easy. And very likely, you have to invest a high amount of your income, typically from 30 to 70% or even more. Some people do like 90. Crazy. Or reduce your living expenses, or get a higher paying job, which are 3 very hard things to do. So if you do the math and find out that retiring in your 30s will make your life so deprived and so miserable, well, you can always move up your retirement age, maybe to 40 or 45, even 50. And you know what? They might seem a little bit far away compared to your 30s, and they might seem so far away compared to the 37 that we're using in this example. But if we take a look at the national average age of retirement, you can see that you're still at least 10 or 15 years before everyone else. That's still a win in my book. Back to my plumber example. Let's say I want to move my retirement age up to 45. I only need to invest about $10,800 annually, which is around half of the $20,000 that we were just talking about earlier.
Bye! Thanks so much for watching up to this point. If you want more videos teaching you all the money tips to live a life that puts your freedom first, subscribe!
Now, here are some tips on how to put what you have learned in this video into action today. Now, no matter your age when you're watching this video, whether you're 18 years old or 25 years old, or maybe even 30 years old, there are 3 simple steps that you can start with right now. First is to find out how much you're spending every month. And I'll link the expense tracking sheet that I love to use every single month down below. Oh my god, I love it. I use it multiple times every month. It's so nice, and it's like color-coded, and I have a really easy time sorting through my expenses this way. Sorting through expenses while having fun, because it's color-coded. And second is to find out how much you're saving right now.
And third is to use the annual spending amount and times that number by 25 to get your retirement portfolio estimate.
If the numbers you found out aren't where you want them to be, and you feel angry or ashamed, it's okay. Wherever you are, whatever situation you're in right now, it's okay. We all need to start from somewhere. There are probably many elements that led to this. Maybe your family was never good at managing money, or you have never ever heard of the concept of FIRE until today. Or maybe learning about money was just way too daunting to start.
It's all okay. No shame, no blame.
All of these feelings are valid. My only question is, what if we can work on one little thing today? What is the one little thing we can do right now that set our future on a different path?
And now I'm also curious, what are y'all's retirement numbers based on your living expenses right now? Drop in the comments down below.
And subscribe for more money videos that tackle this topic from a think freedom first mindset. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!